Hey y'all, so tomorrow's Mardi Gras Day. This is part 2 of the Phuong King Cake copycat. Let's see if it worked. So my dough has been resting in the fridge for about 24 hours. I'm going to turn it out onto my work surface and just knead it to wake up that yeast. I kneaded it about 10 times and I'm just gonna roll it out into a rectangle that measures about 14 by 18. I'm following the recipe that I saw on a website called Murmurs of Ricotta. I'm tagging it in the caption. That's what the instructions said to do, to roll it out into a rectangle that's about 14 by 18. So I'm gonna do that. Now I have my dough all rolled out and the recipe said to take a fork and about every couple of inches or so, just dot the dough. And this will help the butter and heavy cream that I'm about to put on there soak into the dough. I have a couple of tablespoons of melted butter and I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of heavy cream to it and I'm going to brush that on my dough. Now I'm going to take a cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of kosher salt. Combine those really well together. And now I'm going to sprinkle this all over the surface of my dough. And I'm going to take my fingers and press it to make sure that it adheres to the inside of that dough. That heavy cream and butter should make that stick really well. Now, I don't talk about this enough, but one thing you should be doing in your kitchen when you're cooking is washing your hands often. No one wants to eat food from a dirty kitchen. Please wash your hands often when you cook and use soap. You're welcome. Just a little tip from Mom. So I'm rolling the long end toward the middle. Now I'm doing the other long edge and I'm rolling it as tightly as I can toward the middle. I really don't want to leave any space, any air pockets in my rolls. Now I'm going to attempt to move this to my parchment lined baking sheet. Okay, I do have an assistant, so you may need a second set of hands, but I am going to flip it, thank you, my lovely assistant. I am flipping it seam side down. Now, traditionally, king cakes are in an oval shape, and you might already know that, but the Phuong king cake is not. It is rather in kind of a semi-oval shape, more like a U without much of a space in between. And so I'm going to attempt to do it like they do it. Again, this Murmurs of Ricotta flattened hers out. She pinched these ends closed, and then she took scissors and clipped every inch or so all the way around the perimeter to form the shape of her king cake that she says looks more like the traditional Phuong. I'm not really worried about the look, I'm worried about the taste. And now she also cut one final slit right there, and I think that's because this is so thick at the bend, that's gonna help it maybe as it cooks to have some room for expansion. This is such a process, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to cover it and let it rest for an hour to an hour and a half. You know me, which one am I gonna do? An hour in a warm place. I'm just gonna lay a piece of plastic wrap over it and I'm gonna put it in my oven with the light on, but the oven's gonna be turned off for about an hour. The dough has been proofed again for an hour in the oven with just the light on. And now I'm going to bake it in a 350 degree preheated oven for about 35 or 40 minutes. Okay, y'all, that's the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 when we'll finish it off.